Hello, babies.
Hey, Ray, I love how you're laughing when you don't have the internet.
Yeah, Ray, stupid idiot.
Yeah, stupid idiot. My fault.
Oh shit! We're built. We're not. It's gonna be tough to pull something I built today. Why do you say we get the show started? The Simple Mind Sports Show. Where we're talking all New England sports. The best to do it. And even through COVID flu games. Last week was Raymond's COVID flu game. We barely knew. He was drinking through it, and today Bill is playing the somber card.
Yeah, I'm hurt. Tired today.
It's so funny to watch you in pain. Why don't we get the opening take started? Bill, why don't you go first? You want to go? I think I have yours. You have COVID.
Yeah, I have COVID.
Okay.
I'm on quarantine, and it's weird not being able to leave my house just to run to the gas station and get a drink or something. I don't like this.
I'm surprised that you were even doing that. I mean,
I'm surprised you're abiding by the rules. Yeah,
play by Queen's rules. You just go out spit on people.
Click clack, motherfucker! I'm going to the store. Like,
I need some fucking cigarettes. Here's COVID, bitch.
Well, luckily, like the work or whatever, like I had a scheduled work from home day on Tuesday because I'm getting work done at the house. So I was like, man, I woke up feeling real shit. You saw me Monday when we recorded. I was hurt. I wasn't hungover. I'm like, I'm just tired. And then next thing I know, Tuesday, awful. And then fuck it. I woke up yesterday. I'm like, all right, scheduled one, went and got it. Said fuck it. Because then, man, his dad got it. He was positive. And then, believe it or not, the painter at my house, that was over Tuesday that I had a conversation with. He was positive too, but obviously I didn't get it from him. But I'm like,
no, you gave it to him.
Yeah.
He had texted me earlier and said, hey, so-and-so, my roommate has it. Do you care if I come over? I'm like, no. Okay, shit.
Get the work done, motherfucker.
And he's like, okay. And then this is when he texts me. He texts me back later on that night. He's like, hey, I got it. And then I'm like, hey, by the way, me too. Fuck.
Hey, great opening take. Bill, if you're going to talk in COVID decibels, can you turn your volume up a little bit and jack that low down a little bit on the mixer? Your new mic should be there tomorrow. Sorry, Queen. Ray, do you want to move?
You got a fucking another new thing? You bought him another thing?
It's a trade.
I shouldn't have said that out loud. Bill,
it's
jealous.
I was going to tell you not to tell him, and I had it in my head. I was going to text you, hey, I got the new thing. Don't tell him. It's a trade because I'm sending him 2 of these mics back.
Ray's sitting in there holding his iPhone because he can't afford internet, and I'm sending Bill new mics. Ray, do you have an opening take you'd like to start the show with?
I do. Comcast, you're $1 billion organization, and how dare you not fucking tell me my internet was going to be down all fucking day, you pieces of shit. I fucking come home, my wife texts me, says, hey, the internet's down. Is there something that we didn't do? I look, and it says, oh, unfortunately, your network services will be down for the rest of the day. Fuck you guys. People live on internet. Fucking, if it's work, if it's for fucking schoolwork, if it's for porn, mostly for me, that's what I need it for. And fucking, how dare you not even give me a common courtesy the day before saying, hey, your internet ain't gonna be around. You piece of shit. I hope to God they fucking have like a I don't know, an Epstein kind of thing where the CEO is fucking diddling little girls and this guy goes away to jail for fucking ever. Fuck Comcast, you piece of shit.
Does Comcast have a CEO?
Right. Can I? Yeah, it's Josh McCunt.
See, we can get away with that because that's his last name.
Yeah.
Irish twist.
Right.
The show notes after the show was let's lay off the C-bombs and stop making Ray's mom's joke with 4 minutes in. We're
boom and boom.
Ray, what did they say? It's coming back on.
I put the thing where you can say like text me with the updates and stuff. Nothing. Well, fuck you, Bill.
Not this guy. Tell him you're in the media.
I can't wait for Bill to get an oxygen tube down his throat because he can't breathe anymore.
I can breathe just good. I mean, vapors and everything.
I can breathe just good.
I'm just tired. That's it.
My opening take, I don't have a whole lot to complain about, so I can't follow it in those footsteps, I guess. I have a fucking fat, stupid cat that never stops meowing.
Ooh,
I can bitch about that.
I thought you were going to say baby.
Welcome to Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday headline, January 7th, COVID edition. Welcome to the show.
Well, that's 2 out of 3 of us.
I'm over it. I'm healthy now.
If you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, this is
You're welcome.
You're welcome. If you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, please subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends. Most importantly, share it with all your loved ones. And if you want to do some sharing, head on down to White Birch Brewing, the best craft brewing in New Hampshire, Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
The good side of Amherst Street. Get on down there, get yourself a flight, get yourself a pint, get the best brews in New Hampshire at their fine establishment. If you can't get there, then get it at your local beer store, wherever you get it. Tell them these Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. Gonna start a little hockey. Figured Bill's the Queen has COVID. We all if nothing
What
for nothing
the
else.
fuck is wrong with you? You sucking up to this kid. Oh,
If for-
Bill's sick. Let's record early. Oh, Bill's sick. Let's do a COVID hockey talk. Fuck Bill.
COVID's really Comcast.
Jesus,
Really
I just
has some-
asked. I didn't expect to start this early. I just said, hey, do you guys mind if we could start a little bit early? Rich, I know you, you baby, you brew stuff like that. Ray, you have no life, so you're usually pretty flexible. So it's
Thank you.
all usually up to Rich, and I just threw
Look,
it out there. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, if for nothing else, we live to make the Queen happy, but apparently that's not true. When Ray can't play his fucking video games, whatever he wants to do, jack off,
No,
I guess.
God.
Just makes him
Thank you.
so mad. So fuck you, Ray. We're gonna start Bruins anyway. The Bruins are winning hockey games. That's something that the Celtics certainly aren't doing, and the Patriots haven't played since Sunday. So that's a logical place to start, whether the Queen likes it or not. 5-3 over the Devils in their last game. I just wanted to reset the expectation of this team. You know, it's been a weird year. They had a very strange schedule just to start with, taking weeks off at a time, and then obviously the NHL took the break because of COVID, and now they're back. They have won 3 straight, and they kind of look like the team we thought they were building in the offseason when they went and signed all those veterans for the bottom 6, which is historically been a weak part for this Bruins team. So I just you look at the way they're playing. They got goals last night out of Curtis Lazar, Brandon Carlo, Trent Frederick, Oscar Steen, and Pasternak for a winner there. So in the game before, you got goals up and down the roster. So is it? I guess the question to you, Bill, is this the question that is this the team they were envisioning when they brought those guys in? Production from up and down your lineup, maybe not to this extent, but certainly not every night relying on Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak.
I mean, I guess so, yeah, because you brought these guys in to shore up the third and fourth line, but you're forgetting what you did. You just broke up your number one line. You didn't envision having to do that. Let's be real. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You're juggling your first 2 lines. Now you have your projected number 2 starting center and Charlie Coyle to start the season down at the third line. Like, no, this is not what you projected when your lines aren't what you were thinking going into the season. It just Oscar Steen. I mean, I'm glad to see him up there, but he's only up here because of necessity with COVID. What's going to happen when everybody's healthy? I don't know. I just don't see it. This is not what you envisioned. Again, you wanted a good second line with Smith, Hall, and Coyle, and a third line with DeBrusque and Nick Foligno and whoever else, holla, and Nozick and these guys of Lazar playing in your fourth line. But
yeah,
no,
but if you have if it's just your lines that are, if Coyle's on the third line and Holla's on your second and Smith's on your first, they're still the same guys. I understand what you're saying. Maybe you're more lethal with that first line intact, or maybe you're not. We just did the show on Tuesday about that you're clearly a more rounded, better team with a second line that is viable than just a first line out there and nobody else. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I've been saying it for months, years, that a center is what you need. Your 2 best ones are mid-30s. One's now playing in Europe, and you had nothing in the pipeline, and you didn't go out there and address it. You thought Charlie Coyle was that guy. He ain't. So now you are relying on the likes of holla. There's really nothing you can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it, Ray. This is the team that they are. So, they've played the Devils, the
Red
Sabres, and the Red Wings are not certainly the brass of the NHL. But can we reset the expectations? When they started the season, we said maybe they'll barely make the playoffs, and that's the position they've been in here for a little bit. But if they can get production up and down the roster here, can't they compete a little bit more than what we saw to start the season?
Yeah, they can do the usual, get bounced in the second round. So that's what they're striving for now, is making me win the first round and second round exit. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. But it's nice to see that, the 5-on-5 scoring is up now after this long break. It doesn't look like they're rusty. They are an older team, so it does look better that they're actually producing. The goaltending hasn't been great. They've been letting up a lot of goals, but they are outscoring teams. It's been like 5-3 victories and stuff like that, 6-4 stuff. So they're putting points on the board. The defense and the goaltending still lacking in that organization right now, and I think that has to be addressed sooner rather than later.
Your top 5 in goals against, and your top 5 in save percentage as teams. But go on.
I was just talking about since we came back.
No.
Since
Just
we
go
came
on
back from the
about how
break.
bad your goalie situation is. But go on. Just fit your narrative of Tuukka Rask coming back. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Did that
Oh
happen
yeah.
today, Bill?
He signed a PTO.
Yeah, interesting
Yeah,
for you to bring that up. The quest for the butthole tattoo is officially back on. Tuukka Rask is
buddy.
technically in the NHL. What do you a tryout contract? What's it called?
PTOs. So it's basically just a way to kind of get him in practicing. He's going to play AHL games, I should say. So kind of get him in a game shape before they officially sign him to the roster, which is horseshit.
Dude, is there a better place for Tuukka Rask to live than the AHL? Just no pressure, just out there playing against lesser competition. He'll probably own them.
He has one of the best freak out
on the clouds.
Did you ever see his freak out video from Providence where he smashed the stick on the against the boards and he threw the whole milk crate of pucks on the ice about some shootout laws? It was fucking legendary. Go look it up.
Well, the best goals against is one thing. Does it have anything to do with the defense, who was a sieve early? They certainly didn't address it. I still think that's their biggest sin in the offseason, is not getting somebody to play with McAvoy. They've now since brought Grzelcyk back up, which I hated last year. I still hate this year, but it's better than that fucking stiff Forbert, who was okay, but certainly not the guy to play with McAvoy. I don't know if that sparked. I don't know what sparked this team to play. Maybe it's just a competition. But even Carlo and Mike Riley are out there playing better right now. So I don't know. What the defense. What to expect? What do you expect from the defense moving forward? They're still really shallow. Pretty much no depth between John Moore and Connor Clifton. Who else you're looking at? Zaboral. McAvoy's having a good year. Carlos hopefully will be rounding into form, it looks like. And if Mike Riley can be solid, then that's good. But you're still missing that left shot defenseman. There's no doubt about it, even as well as their defense is played. Thoughts on the decor, Bill?
I like what they kind of do. You saw a little bit of success last year with Grzelcyk and McAvoy, last year. So you're seeing it again this year. It brings a little bit more scoring. It kind of gives what you've seen. I think Charlie McAvoy's points are up this year. I think he's top 5 or top 7 in the league in scoring for defensemen. So I mean, his numbers are going up, and it allows him to kind of gives Grzelcyk a little bit more to sit back and kind of opens up the team a little bit more in the passing game. First line, second line, where these guys have been paired up with, so I mean, I like it. I mean, it just goes back as far as like needing a left shot defenseman. It really just goes back to the fact that you whiffed on, kind of going all mark, and with the Tuukka Rask PTO this week is a clear indication of why you missed on Allmark. I mean, Swayman, yeah, he doesn't look like he's fully ready for a full term NHL season, but you could have brought him along slowly with a veteran, not a $5 million a year veteran, and that money could have went out and got a guy or a trade, done something, addressed a second line center, whether it's Jack Eichel or whether it's someone else in trade, anything. Instead, you spend $3.5 million on Forbert and $5 million on Linus Skidmark there in goalie. And I know he's played reasonably well as of late, but your plan here is just wish-wash, zigzag.
Yeah,
there's no plan, and you're seeing it right now. And this is where your depth coming in. John Moore out for the year, or is going between Providence and fucking Boston, and Zorbal's out for the year with an ACL tear. So I mean, boom, now you're playing your big money defensive free agents on your third line now with Connor Clifton. Sorry, it's just no plan. It was stupid.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, and I guess we don't have to get too far into it now. But if they had an idea that Tuukka Rask was coming back, then I have no idea why they signed Linus Skidmark. I have no idea why they did it. And it's not even just for this year, or it's not even necessarily about Swayman. It's like Charlie McAvoy is going to be your team moving forward. Go give him a guy to play with for years to come. At least for, even if you want to call it a 3-5 year short-term situation, give that guy a guy to play with. Let that be the strength of your team, because you're about to lose the strength of your team. And Bergeron, even Marchand's in the mid-30s. So clearly no foresight there. Fire Don Sweeney. I'm still on that. I think you're right, Bill. They have just no plan and they're not doing anything. And when the fuck are they going to move to Brusque? Every time he does this, every year he has a decent couple games. His trade value, for some reason, I believe skyrockets. People think that this guy has potential, and they just sit in their fucking hands with this guy. Is it just still pride about that? Sorry, earmuffs, Bill. 2015 draft. Is it just pride about that they can't let this fucking guy go? After now, Senishin also requested a trade from the organization. That's 2 out of 3 requested trades to get the fuck out of here. I don't know. We've talked about that at depth too. I don't know if you want to touch on moving to Brusque, if that's a piece that you can. I just think they have to start doing something to move towards the future. Like, move somebody. You have to.
Well, they're going to have to, right? If Tuukka comes up, they're going to have move someone.
They're going to move Swayman down.
You think that's what it's going to be?
It has to be. I mean,
but even with the salary cap implications, wouldn't they have to make a move to free up some more cash to get Tuukka in the?
I don't know. Tuukka will sign for the veteran minimum, and I think that's probably less than what Swayman's making, which I think is around $1 million. If I have,
I thought we only had like 800,000 left.
Swayman's like $450 to $700. I mean, he's still on a 4th round rookie deal. I mean, you're talking, almost the rookie minimum. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's 600,000, 700,000 in that range, but I'm just throwing numbers off.
Well, didn't you say the cap space was only like 800,000 that we had left?
Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, even if the veteran minimum's 750, I mean that's like you're playing with house
750. And 1 second, Jeremy Swayman makes $925. So there you go. You'll actually clean some cap room if you bring Tuukka Rask up. Bring him on up. Let's go Quest for the butthole tattoo.
Well, and you know what you can do too with him, and you've seen him with Jerome Iginla when they brought him over a couple years back in that 2014 2015 run. I believe it was the Canadians bounced him in the 2nd round after they were the President's Trophy winner. But you can stack it with incentives. You'll cut into the cap next year, but
yeah, if he wants it, it just seems like the guy. Very Tuukka Rask. I would not be surprised at all if he paid for 750 with, I don't know, incentives to get to $1 million or something, just very low. That's Bruins talk. Let's move a quick break and we'll move on to some Celtics talk.
Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Whoop. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Welcome back. Ray, did you say you're about to fall asleep?
No, my legs were. I had my legs up. I was relaxing. It was very nice and peaceful for once.
Were your testicles resting on them? Too heavy?
Of course.
Speaking of testicles, the Celtics don't have any. They lose again, 99-97 to the Spurs in a very terribly classic Boston Celtics game of the Tatum Bruins Brown era. The entire 3rd and 4th quarter was just isolation basketball on the offensive side. And you still had a chance to win it. You had several chances to win it, including the last play of the game. Jaylen Brown with a steal of the inbounds play and then blew the layup on the other side of the court with a streaking Tatum. Jaylen Brown, as good as he's played offensively, missed so many fucking passes in that game. It was driving me insane. Like many things did, including Dennis Schroeder, Raymond. He was in their final 5 to play the 4th quarter. They were kind of swapping Al Horford and Rob Williams. Dennis Schroeder should not be playing with the starters. He should not be playing with Tatum. He should not be playing with Brown. He should not be playing with Smart. They don't work together. They all kind of need the ball. Smart, Brown, and Tatum have figured out how to play well together at times. When they put Schroeder in there, they just all stand on the fucking perimeter and take turns going one-on-one.
Jacking threes. It's very frustrating to watch.
That first half, and they've had stretches of playing really good basketball and team basketball offensively. The first half against the Spurs was one of those. Their defense wasn't great, but they were playing decent offense. And Jaylen Brown was feeling it. Tatum was getting his legs back after COVID. But as soon as fucking Schroeder comes in, then all stops, which is fine if you're a sixth man and you're coming in there and you're what the offense is focused around while your time is on the court. But when the starters come back on, then you can't continue to have that type of player go out there.
No.
And he sucks as a passer. He sucks as a distributor. He's a pure downhill scorer. That's his job. That's his goal. Ryan Mayo, instant offense. I don't know if you were on that team in high school. He's that guy. Instant offense. Never going to fucking pass it, but he can go get you buckets if he's on, and that's it.
He'll drive the hole, put his head down, not look at anyone to distribute, just fucking go.
Just go, baby. So I blame Udoka. I blame Ime for right now. Could change tomorrow. But this clearly, I don't think this was the coach. This was not the guy. He's not a veteran coach, Bill. He's not a guy that is going to teach them how to play basketball, it looks like, because they clearly don't know. And certainly he's not a guy that's going to put his foot down. He had the entire third quarter. I know you didn't watch the game. So he had the entire third quarter of isolation basketball that he was watching his team play. Didn't sit anybody. Didn't fucking sit anybody down. Went through the same goddamn rotations that he always did, including letting Jaylen Brown sit for like 8 minutes as he was on a heater and he came back in cold for the fourth quarter. I don't know. He's a rookie coach. He's making rookie coach mistakes.
I feel like he's doing what Brad's telling him to do, right? Haven't we seen this same song and dance before? Since the last 7 years of Brad Stevens, long rotations, sitting Al Horford when they first got him, long stretches, 7, 8, 9 minutes of real game time. Like, it's just a joke. Like, you see, like, Jaylen Brown needs to be in the game 40 to 45 minutes a game. He's young. He's 25 years old. Run him until his wheels fall off. I understand he's coming back from an injury and they're trying to nurse him a little bit. But when he's the only guy on your team doing anything, you have COVID, Tatum coming back. You saw what COVID did to him last year, where it took him, weeks and weeks. He finally started playing well in the playoffs. I believe he watched 50 last year against the Nets in the playoffs. I mean, that's when you finally started really seeing him like, hey, I kind of beat COVID. I expect the same bullshit to kind of go on, but when you got only instant offense with Jaylen Brown, and then it just doesn't make sense. And it's Brad Stevens pulling the strings for the top. I was excited for Ime because he was talking the talk, but he hasn't backed it up yet. He has not backed up anything that he's brought to this table that he says he wanted to bring to the table. Coming from that Popovich coaching tree, you expected a little bit more, but it's not the guy. He's not the guy. We needed a Chauncey Billups type. We needed someone in that mind that could come in there and tell him to go fuck it, Brown, Tatum, sit the fuck down. I played in this league. The Big Shot Rob, right? Is that his name? Big Shot Bob? Where the fuck is his name?
Big Shot. Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups.
Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups. Like, shit like that. Like, that's what you need in a leader on this team, like, without having the veteran players, right? Ime is not the leader we wanted on the bench at all, period.
Well, he's also clearly not and again, this could go. I was heavily on the players' fault last year, and I'm still heavily on that too. Like, do you just not learn? Do they just not teach you how to play basketball anymore in AAU? Like, if you watch that offense last night in the third quarter, right, you teach your son's fucking rec basketball team to pass the ball 3 times before you shoot. Like, how many times we've heard that? It's just very simple, fundamental shit. And this is now 2 coaches that have not been able to get through to their star players to do it when, it's time to execute. So, my theory has always been for a long time now that they're in their early 20s. They don't know how to play. They're learning how to play. They're learning how to win, and you just have to wait for it. But it's frustrating to do that. And I still think there's some better solutions out there, including the trade market. Everyone's saying it's good. People are going to be moving in a lot. There's going to be a lot of movement in the NBA.
Schroeder's name is at the top of like multiple.
And it should be. And it should be.
Seems like everyone's name except for the Jays. Yeah. Everyone's name's out there except for the Jays. And then also, before you go, you lost to the Spurs. We're not really talking about that, but they're like 5-19. They're a bad team this year. Spurs aren't anything like they used to be. You had all your starters back for the first time in probably over a month, and you go out there and you lay an egg against the fucking lowly Spurs. That's a bad look.
I love Murray.
Murray's
Oh, yeah.
really, really good. It's a
Was
They
it
got
team.
great.
Jawan-
They got
Jawan Murray?
good
Is that
players,
his
but they
name,
don't
Jawan?
have a good team. So it's just one of those things where you have to analyze and be like, obviously, this starting group is not working out. There has to be several moves on the table that Brad Stevens should be working out right now for that date that Marcus Smart's available to be traded. So that's one of those things that they have to start analyzing right now. Like, this isn't working. Let's start getting rid of some of these guys. Let's start getting these trade proposals ready to go because this team isn't going to go far in the playoffs like they have in years past.
All right, Rich. Let's get down to business here. So, for cookies, do you want to eat it like an Oreo cookie, or do you want to eat it like you're just eating like a
Like a chocolate chip cookie,
or like a
instead of
dip,
chocolate
you know,
chips,
like you're just
like a
cheese
Dungaroo,
dip, like a cheese
like
dip,
a,
like a pub cheese. You know, pub cheese.
Oh yeah.
You want like a wheat thin, and you're scooping it up
cracker.
like it's like, oh yeah, it has to be a cookie, huh?
I'm
Well,
fixed
I was
too, so it's
thinking
not gonna be
maybe
that
like
good.
you know, like the
No,
old
no, I'll
toaster,
jack off in it. Don't worry.
you know, the old toaster strudels where you could get the packet and then you
Oh,
put
yeah,
it on there and like real nice. Something like that, you know, with a nice size.
Easy. You ever see those things? Those people build a cake, bake a cake, and they squirt it out of those things that look like they're fucking like jacking off a cow. So just do it right there, right on the cookie.
Yep. I think there's still 3 games out of 4th place though. So, you know, prayers up.
No way. Look it up right now. There's no way that 4 games out of 4th place.
Discuss amongst yourself. Continue the Ookie Cookie talk if you'd like.
So we do a lot of inside jokes here. Rich and I made a bet that Rich thinks they're going to be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. I said anything but. So we made a deal that the loser has to eat a Ookie cookie, which is a jizz-filled cookie. And Rich is getting an appetite right now because he's going to be eating it soon.
They're currently 5 games out of 4th place.
Thank you.
So you're right. I was wrong. I said 4.
Yep,
yeah,
you.
thanks.
That's all I want.
Thanks for that, Celtics. Yeah, that's all I have on that. We have to move on because now my stomach is turning. What we're gonna do is head on over to headlines with me. I'm gonna do the headlines because Bill is sick.
You don't trust Bill?
No, like I can barely understand his.
I'm working too.
Jesus, he's got 2 fucking phones rolling. He's got COVID mumbles. He's got Ookie Cookie giggles, and you don't have the internet. So right now you get me doing the headlines. Patriots finished their season on Monday. On Sunday, God damn it, Mara. Patriots finished their season in Miami on Sunday. The game has been flexed to 4:25 kickoff. Playoff implications include the AFC East division with a win by the Patriots and loss from the Bills. The number 1 overall seed is still up for grabs with a win from the Patriots and losses from the Titans, Chiefs, and Bills. Good luck with that. In addition, several permutations, that was the word in there that I was supposed to screw up Ray with, will be sorted out in terms of playoff matchups by the end of the day on Sunday, depending on the wins and losses. As you heard, the Celtics blew another winnable game in spite of their new motto, just fucking win. We didn't talk about that. Love the motto, hate the execution, because all they do is fucking lose. In this case, 99-97, including Jaylen Brown missing a game-tying layup at the buzzer after stealing the inbounds pass. He finished with 30 points and 6 assists. Bruins win their 3rd straight game against the Devils. The game-winning goal came from David Pastrnak, blah, 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 blah. The quest is back. Tuukka Rask has officially signed with the Providence Bruins. Get your t-shirts. The quest for the Bud L tattoo is back on. This has been Headlines with not the obvious one. Me, Date Mitch. We'll be right back.
Now, after reading that.
Shut up. I said we'll be right back.
Radio idiot.
We're back.
Now, after reading your own email, isn't it a fucking bitch to read that?
No.
No.
I read it just fine.
Some of mine.
You're not.
Go on.
You're can't
Really
you don't
dumb.
read good. Where are you now?
Same
I made
place, just turn around.
I made him turn around because I didn't want that spotlight in my fucking eyes anymore.
Got it. You still haven't finished your ceiling either? God.
Mm-mm. No, I got in a huge argument with the wife about my weekends and didn't go well. So this will probably be an ongoing project.
Oh, that's good. I guess when you can't afford internet, you can't afford drywall.
Nope.
All right, boys, let's talk a little Patriots to end the show. Obviously, the season finale is on Sunday versus the Dolphins. Got the 5:25 kickoff, which is the same time. 4:25. Well, 5:25 if you're in the Atlantic time zone.
Okay.
I love your mother's pussy. That one.
That's the same time that the Bills will be playing, which is important, I guess, if you're kind of keeping your eye on the division. In that, I just had some open forum to talk Patriots if you want, but I just think I'm wondering how hard will the Dolphins play. They blew their season last week. Toot told you they would. You got Brian Flores, who obviously has an axe grind against the Patriots, has a good record against the Patriots. Do you think they come out guns blazing, trying to? There's nothing really to spoil, even if the Patriots drop in seeding. What's the difference between Bills and Bengals, and So I don't know. How hard do you think the Dolphins come out and play on Sunday?
Hey, dial up internet. You want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'll go first. 100% because Brian Flores, like you said, has an axe to grind to get the Bill Belichick. I believe our record down there is abysmal right now. I think it's like 1-6 in the last 7 tries, something like that. I don't have internet, so I can't fucking look it up because I don't have internet, but I think it's something like that. It's really, really bad. So, yeah, I think Brian Flores makes it a point to say that the Patriots can't win down in Miami and comes out guns a-blazing and makes it a fucking game on Sunday at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I mean they could, but if I'm the Patriots, I'm playing the game kind of half-assed. So I'm gonna kind of give Mac a little bit of break. I'd probably pull him for the second half. Honestly, I mean if you
they got the division on the line.
If Buffalo plays at 1:00, right?
No, they don't.
I just said that they both play at 5:25 Atlantic time.
4:25.
4:25.
5:25 Atlantic time.
4:25 Eastern Standard Time.
Know your fucking time zones, people. Atlantic time zone, Greenland.
This is America, and we live in the fucking East.
There's 4 time zones in America, Bill.
Yeah, and which time zone do we live?
You fuckers should be in the Atlantic time zone.
Wait, isn't there more? Because isn't Arizona technically their own time zone because they don't do daylight savings time?
There's places in Ohio that don't do like daylight saving time either.
Yeah, they're in the same time zone, you dumb fuck. They just don't recognize daylight savings.
Well, wouldn't that be another daylight? Wouldn't that be another time zone?
You're a fucking idiot, Raymond. You are.
It's just a different time in the time zone.
Oh, okay.
Hey, AOL Instant Messenger. Why don't you look it up on your no internet?
Yeah, get that
flip
phone.
What was your instant message name? Was it B. Gately?
Yeah, I've had the same one forever. It was I love Irene's pussy XOXO.
Damn it, Bill. Fucking show notes, Bill.
Yeah, but when it fits, it fits.
I have 2 things. I have 2 off subject things that you want to talk. You want to talk about the Patriots? You want to talk about my off subject things?
You're off subject.
Was it to do with the time zone? Because I'd really like to dig deeper into that.
Yeah, time zones. 2 things on the time. You ever hear the stories about people that live like on the time zone? Indiana is famous for it. They're in 2, and there's people that work like on different time zones, so they have to get up like an hour early to be into work, and then have to leave an hour later to get to leave from work.
Oh,
it's
that
fucking nightmare fuel. That those ones always confuse me because it's like time travel. And then there's been a lot of talk about moving the far east coast of United States into that Atlantic time zone, which would not be me, but would be you, which you guys want because you get an extra hour of sunlight. Right now, when it gets dark at 3:00 right now, that would that would give you more sunlight. So whenever that comes up in whatever ballot that Bill burns, you should vote for that.
I vote every year. Dr.
Those are my
Scientist.
Dr. Scientist.
Thanks, meteorologist. Is there someone that does with time zones?
Yeah,
astrology.
Definitely.
Astrology. You're a fucking idiot, Raymond. It's not astrology.
It's definitely not meteorology either, but I don't think meteorology is a word either. All right, welcome to some of my sports show.
Word?
Meteorology.
Ray, you have a very kickable face.
He looks extra fat today, like chunky, not fat, just chunky.
It's because he doesn't have internet, so he has to zoom in on his iPhone. His small iPhone. He's got a small one like this.
He doesn't have the filters.
No, I got my legs up.
Dude, the difference.
Bills and Patriots play at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. I think they flexed that Patriots game, so there wouldn't be any not tanking, but shenanigans from either team, depending on if they won or lost. But look, I'm not saying the Jets are going to win, but they took Brady down to a minute 20 last week. They've beaten Ray's Bengals this year. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that they beat Josh Allen, who threw 3 interceptions against the fucking Falcons last week. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the Jets pull one out. So you can't go into Miami thinking that it's a half-ass game. You have to go in there to win. Not only that,
the Jets are home
with the division on the line, but I just think you need that as a team. So I don't think that you can go in there and throw a couple things in the playbook to try and get some practice reps in on some shit. No, you have to go win. You have to continue to build momentum, continue to get Mac Jones confidence, continue to get this passing offense rolling, and head into the playoffs rolling. Not try to restart things once you get into that first game. Your thoughts?
God, I want to hit you. No, I expect Bill to play. I mean, again, there is. You look at a team like Cincinnati's kind of benching everybody. It doesn't sound like Burrows is going to play. Joe Mixon's on the COVID list. So, I mean, they're kind of, them not playing against Cleveland. You've seen it. I think Cleveland's -6 in that game. So I expect Bill to kind of come out and play hard. And again, you don't want him to sit back. You just had some momentum kind of crushing Jacksonville last week. You coming off 2 straight losses. We talked about trap games, I believe, a little bit earlier in the week. So, I mean,
we did talk about trap games. It was a big. The Jags were a trap game.
Now you're
this
looking
isn't
at
a trap game.
Well,
This isn't
Richard,
a trap game.
You're looking at back-to-back trap games here because you locked up your playoff seed now. And no, what do? You overlook the Dolphins here? No, you want to come in, you want to play hard. You can't treat Miami like a trap game. No, you responded real good last week.
I hate you guys.
Real good last week responding, beating Jacksonville, a big trap game coming off 2 losses straight to Buffalo and in Indianapolis. So I mean, you responded 1 trap game. Now let's respond to number 2 trap game heading into the playoffs on a high note. Patriots.
Yeah, you don't want to get trapped in a trap game in the last week of the season because trap games always happen in the last week of the season. You ever play that game, Mousetrap, Ray?
Yeah, that was a bitch to set up. I know Bill didn't have a father I know that Bill didn't have a father to play with, so that's why I'm just gonna go to you, Richard. That game was a bitch to set up.
No, your wife played both roles. I mean, your mother.
Bill, show notes, man. Show notes,
man. That's 5. That's 5 Irene jokes. I said cool.
No, you said only Irene pussy jokes.
You hear that? You hear that,
old man? You only said pussy.
Well, you made 3 of those.
Jokes.
So
that's under quota.
Can anyone get rolling this game? Raymond. First guy that comes to mind is Christian Wilkerson, who I'm not trying to be the person that's saying he's the new darling. He did have 2 drops and 3 catches. Like, I get it. But for number 1, he's better than N'Keal Harry. I'll die on a hill on die on
We
that
are.
hill. And number 2, Nelson Aguilar. I'm not holding my breath. Nelson Aguilar gets back, and if he does, he hasn't been fucking stellar all season anyway. Is this a game that Christian Wilkerson can get some reps underneath him and Mac Jones kind of get rolling a little bit, that maybe you see it roll into the playoffs, or anyone else that comes to mind?
Let me start on offense. I'm going with the tight ends. I want to see Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry start getting a little chemistry with Mac Jones, because they have been MIA all season long inside the 20s. So, yeah, let's get that going. Red zone, I mean, obviously Hunter Henry is a darling. He's going to get the touchdown throws, but inside the 20s, he hasn't done anything this year. So I'd like to see that going in. Outside, sorry. And then for the defense, I want to see J.C. Jackson, because no matter who you play, you're either going to be playing Buffalo and you're going to be taking on Stephon Diggs, who's been owning you. And the way things are going, if Cincinnati's tanking, you might be playing Cincinnati going to Cincinnati. So if that's the case, you're going to be playing Jamar Chase, and you are going to get owned. So I want to see him get out there and look like a number 1 cornerback on Sunday.
Great segue, unless Bill has anybody else. Go ahead.
No, it's definitely the tight ends.
Well, I understand we all want the tight ends there, but do you honestly think this is a game that tight ends are going to get rolling?
It'd be nice.
We just want to see them get involved.
Well, sure. I'd like to see Mac Jones turn into Tom Brady and grow a second dick. But that's
here's my answer. N'Keal Harry. I'd like to see N'Keal Harry get rolling here, catch some passes. make
Wait,
some.
so is everyone
make
making
some,
fun of me right now?
I'd like to see James White heal his hip and come back for 12 catches in a 28.
I'd like to see
comeback
Mac
from the Super
Jones.
Bowl.
I'd like to see them finally, take the training wheels off Mac Jones here in the game number 17 for the season.
What did
and
I
start
say
letting
for you
them
guys to
throw.
make fun of me?
Nothing. It's just so
Tight ends
easy.
get involved.
No, you had a beautiful segue of the Patriots maybe looking at the Bengals. If the Bills win, the Patriots all right. So this is math. I guess I'll look this up too. But the Bills are a game behind the Bengals, right? Bills win, Bengals win.
They're tied.
Are they? I thought the Bengals had 11 wins.
No, they have 10 wins. They're 10-6.
No, they're not.
No.
Are they?
I bet you a blowjob that they're 10-6.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
You're gonna have the Ookie Cookie pretty soon, so you might as well
Bengals
just go for the real
10-6.
thing. Yeah, my penis is getting touched for the first time in a long time.
All right, so so if the Bengals go out there, tank and lose, and the Bills win, that drops the Bengals to 4th among the division.
Bengals 3, Bills 4, Patriots 5.
Right now. But if the Bills, so I'm looking at ahead, and who would you rather face? On Tuesday, Bill, you're adamant that you would rather face the Bengals. That's your team of choice. You'd like to see the Patriots play in the playoffs. And the way that would happen is the Bengals lose on Sunday and the Bills win and the Patriots win, which seems like a real possibility.
Yeah, I still want to play the Bengals. I think you could shut down Jamar Chase. Say what you want. I don't think J.C. Jackson's number one corner, but you can play a lot of zone on Chase with a guy like Devin McCourty over the top. You're going to double team him. You're not going to let Jamar Chase beat you. I'm telling you right now. I just don't see it. And I think if you take away the binky, Tyler Boyd, you can kind of match up one-on-one. I think Mills or even Miles Bryant, guy like that Boyd's a better matchup. But I think you can kind of take away Jamar Chase. You take away Burrow's binky. Let's see how he's going. And he's got what we Rich, got pinky finger problems.
I hear you. I've been putting a lot of thought into this, and Ray's not going to like this, but I think I agree with wanting to see the Bengals. Here's why. I have confidence that you'll beat the Bills because I don't have confidence in Josh Allen, and I like Belichick, but that's a close game. Joe Burrows is still a second-year quarterback, and I get that he's shot up the ranks into Ray's top, 3 all time, and the NFL's top 5, probably 7. But he's still a second-year quarterback, and I like Bill Belichick against a second-year quarterback, specifically in the playoffs when the pressure is on. And Jamar Chase is an outstanding talent, but those outside number 1 wide receivers never really kill the Patriots, especially when they don't have a lot of secondary options. So I'm kind of with you. In their defense, especially their run defense, is a fucking sieve. So I'm kind of leaning towards that's the best case scenario for the Patriots.
Defense
Going into
as a
fucking
whole.
Cincinnati, I don't know. I give them the chance. But bottom line, I give them a chance against the Bengals. I give them a chance against the Bills. I think the Chiefs and Titans are a step up and certainly a harder out. But you're not really in danger to see them unless you move on. So I don't know. Ray, you're still heavily avoiding your boy Joe Burrow, or do you want to come back to earth a little bit?
No, I want to play the Cincinnati Bengals. I think if you can get the Cincinnati Bengals and then you beat them, you go to Tennessee and play the Titans, which I think Derrick Henry's not going to be 100%. And you already steamrolled them, even though they got 200-plus rushing yards. You could be set up for an AFC Championship matchup if the cards fall the right way.
You know who practiced today? Just saying.
Yeah, and you know how bad it is when they go out there for the first time after not playing for months on end, and they're going to get re-injured, and then he's not going to be available for the next matchup, and then we steamroll the Titans, your Tennessee Titans, and we go to the AFC Championship game.
You don't have to activate him until the Patriots game.
Either way, you'd see the Titans in a most likely you'd see the Titans in a division game because it reseeds. So the number 1, and if the Chiefs and the Bills win, then they get the undercard, and you go to Tennessee, which would probably line up an AFC Championship game in Kansas City if the chalk played out. But that's getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I'll go there though. I'm not that fucking scared of Derrick Henry. They ran for 270 yards on you with Hilliard and what the fuck is his name? How many more yards is Derrick Henry going to run that's going to hurt you? How many more yards can he run?
Well, I think one, he's not fumbling on who was it? The Hilliard fumble?
But that only one of those fumbles cost him. The other one, the Patriots didn't even score on.
Doesn't matter, but the long run though. Think about the long run.
What was the final score? What was the final score of that game?
The Patriots owned that game. The Titans held on. It'll be a close game, but they play the type of game the Patriots want to play. I'll say that. The only thing that I think you need to worry about with the Bengals is they can score in bunches, and if they do, you can't keep up. So,
their defense as a whole can't stop the Patriots' run game right now. Let's look at Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville was a banged up team. They have nobody, but when you can get 100 yards out of Stevenson and 100 yards out of Damian Harris, I mean, the way that these running backs are pounding the football right now, I mean, the best way to slow down a fucking high octane offense is with the Patriots' strength is being able to control game clock and run the football. I mean, that's an easy way to do it. And now you're controlling Burrows and Jamar Chase by keeping them on the sidelines.
Yeah,
I expect Joe Mixon to have a big game. You're going to see Mixon. They're going to dare him to run. You're going to see a lot of dime packages, a lot of guys in the backfield. I mean, they ran quarters in dimes where they had at one point I think they had 9 defensive backs against Brady at one point. So I mean, you're going to see a lot of that, and you're going to fucking just clog the middle of the field up and let them run the football. You've seen it, Brady, Manning. You've seen Bill do it constantly, and this is the easy way you're going to do it.
Yeah, well, it still means the Baker Mayfield less Browns go and beat the second string Bengals, which is probably let's be honest, probably not going to happen. You're probably going to play the Bills on Monday Night Football next week. So get your mind wrapped around that.
Which sucks because that's a motivated Bills team going against these Patriots now. There's some fucking hate there. You heard the shit talking about Josh Allen after. I think there's a lot of the disrespect talk really got to him after the Mac Jones beat him by throwing three passes. And I'd rather see Cincinnati. Just give me another week of avoiding the Bills. I'd rather see Cincinnati.
I'm with you on that, but I don't trust Josh Allen with a weeks-long playoff newspaper run, getting his head all fucking jacked up. Again, so I give the Patriots a shot either one. We went way, way, way long. I'll make this quick. Simplest mind of the week is Tom Brady for enabling that fucking tool, Antonio Brown, which we covered in length on Wednesday's show. Him running off the field and turning into a crazed man. So congratulations to Tom Brady, his first ever Simplest Mind of the Week. This has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday headlines, January 7th. See you on Sunday for early lines. Bye.
Last early lines. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What the fuck you doing?
Looks like it's just you and I.
There it is. Now you can hear me. Hey, boys.
How you doing? You got the sun behind you?
Oh, I didn't want to hold this, but I guess I'm holding it. Yeah, I do have the sun behind me.
How do you like being poor?
I don't get it.
COVID Bill is cold as ice. Is that a new TV behind you, Bill?
Just moving mountains of old TVs, moving some TVs around. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, nice upgrade, Bill. Nice.
Next time we see him, I'm surprised that you're not looking at it. So the games are on next time we record, and you just
that's why we recorded early today.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
This is just this is the bedroom TV. I can't record facing the TV because then you're gonna see a bed. Here.
You're in the bedroom?
Mm-hmm. Nice and quiet. House is on quarantine. There's no small children here.
Don't tell us that you don't have some jailhouse tricks where you got a little mirror lined up there on the side of the monitor where you can see that TV on behind you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, Raymond. We might lose Bill. We're not sure if it's COVID or HIV or leprosy.
STDs, yeah.
Finally,
COVID finally got me.
Were
Syphilis
you
is catching up.
when the doctors called you? Were you worried that it was an STD test, or was you more worried about the COVID test?
I went to a COVID place and said I need a test and got a COVID test. They got a text and I went to the website and it said, "Hey, you failed." And I was like, "Hey, great."
You failed. Okay, that's
Failed.
that's not how they tell you you get
It's not
COVID.
pass or fail grade, you idiot.
he definitely went to the herpes shop.
Hey, Ray, I love how you're laughing when you don't have the internet.
Yeah, Ray, stupid idiot.
Yeah, stupid idiot. My fault.
Oh shit! We're not. It's gonna be tough to pull something I built today. Why do you say we get the show started, the Simple Mind Sports Show? We're talking.